Hi, I'm Jody Worrell. Today we're going to learn some very useful blues licks that have a dual purpose. That is, with a little bit of adjustment, they can be used as an intro or an ending for a blues tune in the key of E. For that matter, the intro licks can be used as turnarounds in the middle of the tune without changing a note. We'll learn each lick as an intro and then as an outro, if you will. I think mixing and matching these examples will give your blues playing some real strong takeoffs and landings. Let's look at intro number 1. All right, here is number 1 as it's in its form as an intro. We're going to start off with this big E9 chord. I ripped this one off from Freddie King. I've got my 4th finger at the 12th fret of the 1st string. I've got my 3rd finger at the 12th fret of the 4th string. So those are kind of spread apart. Then the 2nd finger is on the 11th fret of the 3rd string. And then sort of a stretch backwards will get you your 9th fret note on the 2nd string. It's a cool chord, and it's just got kind of a cool bright sound to it. So we're just going to strike that chord and chop it, you know, go. We're given, there'll be 2 little, these are all in 12/8, so it's da 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 da, so it's 1 2 3. So we just play the chord on 1, and then 2 3 are silent. 1 2 3. So that's important. Rests are just important as notes. We're dividing the bar up into segments that we're either going to play something in or leave silent, but any way you slice it, we have to play at the right time and lay out at the right time. So anyway, then we let that little time elapse. Then I'm going to play the 4th string, and then the 1st string, and then the 4th string again, right where my fingers already are. And that's the cool thing about using this chord. And I suggest that you do either right hand wise, go a downstroke and an upstroke. It's kind of a long way to go. I don't subscribe to all downstrokes. I think it's not an accurate way to go at it for me. The most accurate way and the most comfortable way for me is hybrid picking, where I'm going to play the chord with the flat pick. Then I'm going to play the lower string with my pick and the higher string with a finger. I might probably just use my 2nd finger. Then there's all kinds of accuracy. The pick's going to stay on a string, and then all my finger has to do is hook that 1st string from space here. It's easy to find the 1st string. So anyway, there it is. After we've done that, we're going to start lowering the note on the 4th string by a half step. And I switch to the 2nd finger to get down to that 11th fret. 4th finger stays on the 12th fret of the 1st string, and it's sort of our pedal tone, the note that the other ones bounce off of. Then I'm going to go ahead and switch to my 1st finger on the 10th fret. Then I'm just going to play the 9th fret with my 1st finger. So the 1st finger will play 2 different notes. And I'm just playing that 9th fret note with my 1st finger by itself. And that's this little chord thing is, you can finger it any way you want to. I tend to finger that with my first and third fingers. I don't know why. I just do because sometimes I'll put the third note in. I'll put a third note in it. So that's just very quickly the 8th fret and 9th fret on the 4th and 3rd strings, and then the 7th and 8th. So we just take that little figure and go down a half step until we're here. And that gives us our B7 chord. That's kind of our 5 chord in the progression. Sorry. Then we're just going to throw a little lick in down here at the bottom. I'm going to jump down to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. And it turns out that that finger's already on the 4th string to begin with. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to play the 2nd fret, 4th string, pull it off to open, or you can play them both. 2nd fret, 5th string, 3rd fret, 6th string, and then just play that open 5th and 2nd fret, open 6th and the 2nd fret, 5th. You can even play a little bit more if you want. There's intro number 1. Now let's see what we have to change to create an ending from that one. All right, this is taking the lick from lick number 1 that we made an intro out of that went like this. Yeah, that led us into a song and into a groove. Now, we want to get, later on, we've been playing for a while, and we want to get out of this song. So we go. And we're done. So all we're going to do is the very first part of that, same as always. Then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to play a little F7, which is just the 8th fret, 5th string, 7th fret, 4th, 8th fret, 3rd. And that's just, that gives us a bunch of tension that needs to be resolved by going to an E7. And then we're done. And that is our outro made out of lick number 1. You can see that just shortening the intro lick and resolving it to the E chord is all we have to do to make outros out of intros. Here's number 2. All right, here's number 2 as an intro, and I'll play it one more time and you see how this just gets us into kind of a groove. Here we go. All right, so we're going to start off playing the 5th fret of the 2nd string and the open 1st string. So it's the same note twice. And then I'm going to play the open 1st string. So it's a lot of E notes. Then I'm going to move down to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, do the same thing. Play both strings and then the open 1st. Down to the 2nd fret on the 2nd string. 1st fret, 2nd string. Open both of them. So we're just going with this string just kind of going all the time. So we're going to go open first two strings. Then I'm going to come down with my second finger across the second fret of the second and third strings. Then I'm going to hammer on 0 to 1 on the third string. And there could be some open strings going with that hammer on. Then jump all the way across the fourth string to the fifth string. Then we're going to do a last little lick where we hammer on from 0 to 1 on the fifth string. So hammer on 0 to 1, pull off back to 0. Sorry. Then I'm going to do a little, with my second finger on the second fret of the sixth string, I'm going to do a little half step, bend and release, and then down to our open sixth string. Sorry. That's lick number 2. And now we'll transform that one into an ending. There, very simply, is the outro version of intro number 2. We're just not going to wind ourselves down to that. We're not going to do any of that. So here's the intro part. We're going to get out of there much sooner. It's just going to be 2 bars worth where we're going to resolve back to our E chord. So do all the same stuff. And once you do that hammer on, instead of going, that's what we did for an intro, we're going to go, and we're done. And there's outro number 2. Now let's look at our third intro. Alrighty, here we are at intro number 3. We're going to start out with a big old E chord. That's from low to high, open, second, second, first, open, open. Just bang that thing and leave a little space after it. Then hammer on 0 to 1 on the third string. Open second, open first. Then I'm going to do a little slide up from 3 to 5 on the second string. Followed by the open first and then second. Sorry. That's what we're playing. Then while those open strings are ringing, we get down here again to play the second fret on the third string with the second finger. Then Then a real quick little hammer on and pull off. And after that fancy kind of trill thing, play the second fret of the fourth string. Then we're going to play a little, that's like a C9 to a B9. So that's from low to high, starting on the fifth string, it's 7/8, 7/8. 1, 3, 2, 4 fingers. 7/8, 7/8, 1, 3, 2, 4. Then just take it down a half step. And if you can make that happen without, you just do this. If you can make that slide without the chord dying like that. Then we're going to play an F9, which is right here. And the reason we're playing this C leading to the B and an F leading to the E, that's just a passing chord that's literally all wrong notes dying to get to be all right notes. F9, which is, again, starting on the fifth string and going to higher strings, it's 8, 7, 8, 8, 8. And for me, to get this chord sounding good, what we don't want is that string. The fourth string is playing an important note. I have to have the feeling that this finger is almost on its side a little bit, and I'm trying to have the same footprint. These two aren't one behind the other in the fret. They're kind of, I have to literally come over the tip of my third finger with my second finger, and that makes a little tunnel that the fourth string can go through. And then we just slide or just play our way down to an E9, which is the beginning chord of our tune. So it'd be like this: 3, 4, 1. Again. Oops. There's lick number 3 as an intro. Let's dice that one up and turn it into an outro. All in the world we have to do is substitute the F9 to E9 where the C9 to B9 used to be. Here's what we played before. See, that's got to go somewhere. That doesn't sound like an ending. We're still in mid-stride there. Instead, where we used to go that made us need to keep going, we're going to play the final sounding chords, which are F9 to E9 right there. And there it is. It's an ending. And often when you're playing with a band, that will have a little bit of a retard to it, a slowdown that everybody will just feel. It'll go. You'll feel it, and it has a nice final kind of sound, and that's a great outro that we made out of using about half of our intro lick number 3. Now we'll move on to intro number 4. B4. Here is intro lick number 4. It's got a whole bunch of notes. It's got a nice kind of swinging feel to it. We're going to start off with an open, we're coming right down the minor blues scale, which is the minor pentatonic, of course, is just this. And that always sounds a little bit like an exercise. There's something about adding that flatted fifth, that note between and just kind of, it just pushes all the notes into a great place, gives us a better cadence, a better feel, and it sounds a lot more like music. That just has such a sweet flow to it. So anyway, open first, followed by 3-0, 3-0 on the second string. You pull that off. Then another pull off if you want to, 3-2-0 on the third. 2-0 on the fourth. 2-1-0 on the fifth. 3-0 on the sixth. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. It's in threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. It sort of has this sort of shifting emphasis of that those strong beats should almost be a little louder. It really kind of, you know, it's a subtle thing. I overdid it that time. Then we're going to, after we get down to that open sixth string, I'm going to grab the fourth fret. We came down on the third, but I'm going to come back up on the fourth fret. So the fourth fret, sixth string, then 0-1-2 on the fifth. That's turning us around to our nice B7 chord that's not written there, but we're secretly hearing it. Then we're going to do a... So we've just gone... Then I'm going to skip up here to the second fret on the fourth string with my second finger, play that note. Then I'm going to push right across the second, third, and fourth strings with my second finger. You kind of just flatten it out, leave the tip centered over the fourth string. Then stand it back up again. Tip will still be on the second fret of the fourth string. Then I'm going to hammer on. I'm going to play all the strings toward the floor, all the higher strings from this note. And I'm going to hammer on from 0 to 1 on the third string. That's fast. Let's go one slow time. Let's say we got kind of a mid-tempo blues. You get the idea. One more time. That's number 4. Let's hear how that one sounds as an ending. All right, this is our outro version of lick number 4, of intro number 4. Here's the intro, just so we can kind of get back in the mindset of it. So you get that feeling. So let's say we've been jamming along, we've been going crazy. The harmonica player just played 14 choruses and he's just sitting in. We didn't invite him, he just showed up on stage. So we're about ready for this thing to be over. So we're around on our 5 chord. And that's what's going to get us out of it. And all we're doing is the lick from the intro version. Then, instead of doing what we did before, which takes us right around the corner again, we're just going to go. Then come up here and play a little bitty F7. Which is 8th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret on the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. And I'm going to slide to that. You can see we've got a little grace note of 7, 6, 7 up to 8, 7, 8. And that gets us out of it. And oftentimes, in a band situation, that will have sort of a agreed upon without an unspoken agreement that everybody's going to kind of slow down a little bit, do a retard on that, so it'd sound like this. And then the drummer's, playing all of his John Bonham licks there at the end, and we finally go. And that, very simply, is lick number 4, made into an outro. That brings us to our last intro. It's number 5. All right, here is intro lick number 5. We're going to start off with a very quick open 6th string. We're in the key of E, all of these, as we know. Then I'm going to play the 7th fret of the 1st string, the 8th fret of the 2nd string. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give that 2nd fret, that 2nd finger note on the 2nd string, just the tiniest little bend. Hear how that gives it that sound? So after we do the boom, ba da da, then we've got another lick, and that lick happens to start with those same 2 notes again. That's kind of the way I look at it to keep track of where I am in time. 1, 2, 3, ba da da da. That I think of as the 2nd lick. Here's the 1st lick, and here's the 2nd lick. They just kind of blend together. So anyway, we go. Then we play our 2nd lick, which starts on those same 8 and 7, 9 to 7 on the 3rd string. 2 notes followed by 2 single notes. Then I'm going to hammer on from 7 to 8 on the 4th string. Pull it back off. then the 10th fret of the 5th string, 7th fret of the 5th string. Then I'm going to play 7, 8, 9 on the 4th string. Ba-da, ba, ba-da-da. Then I'm going to come up and play, I'm going to play an F9, which is just like an E9 but a half step higher. So our F9 is the, on these inner 4 strings, 5, 4, 3, and 2, we're at 12, 13, 12, 13 with our 1, 3, 2, 4 fingers. And I'm going to get to that chord by starting out on the E9, which you can see in your last bar there, which is 11, 12, 11, 12. So I'm going to slide. Notice my thumb doesn't go with me when we slide. I'm not sliding around like this, where the whole shooting match goes everywhere. I'm gonna kind of deploy that away from my thumb so I can manage that and be real sure that it's going to go as far as it needs to go and no further, and come back as far as it needs to go and no further. We don't want it just all willy-nilly. So and that is lick number 5 in its intro form. Let's create an ending out of that one. Here is outro lick number 5, which is intro lick number 5 turned into an outro. It's going to be shortened. The first part's exactly the same. But then we're done. We're just going to play our F9 and our E9. And again, that'll probably have a little bit of that retard to it as the unspoken band rule, and the drummer will kind of lead you through that. So our F9 in this case is right across the 8th fret, 8, 7, 8, 8, and that can have the top string also, or any of the. That's a good thing about a chord. You can play any of the elements of it. We could go. That was wrong. F9, and then take it down a half step to E9. So let's say we've finally come to the trombone player's 14th chorus, and we're in the B chord. It's finally going to be over. And the crowd is clamoring for more as the lights go down and the curtains draw. And that is outro lick number 5. I hope you'll get some good use out of these examples at your next jam session. There are a great number of combinations available using just these licks, or you can take your time and expand on them in your own way. Also, be sure to check out my other lessons on blues soloing. My name is Jody Worrell, and I'll see you next time.